Thank you very much. My fellow Americans, as President of the United States, my highest obligation is to ensure the safety and security of the American people. History has shown that the longer we ignore a threat, the more dangerous that threat becomes. For this reason, upon taking office, I've ordered a complete strategic review of our policy toward the rogue regime in Iran. That review is now complete. Today, I am announcing our strategy, along with several major steps we are taking to confront the Iranian regime's hostile actions and to ensure that Iran never, and I mean never, acquires a nuclear weapon. Our policy is based on a clear-eyed assessment of the Iranian dictatorship, its sponsorship of terrorism, and its continuing aggression in the Middle East and all around the world. Iran is under the control of a fanatical regime that seized power in 1979 and forced a proud people to submit to its extremist rule. This radical regime has raided the wealth of one of the world's oldest and most vibrant nations and spread death, destruction, and chaos all around the globe. Beginning in 1979, agents of the Iranian regime illegally seized the U.S. Embassy in Tehran and held more than 60 Americans hostage during the 444 days of the crisis. The Iranian-backed terrorist group Hezbollah twice bombed our embassy in Lebanon, once in 1983 and again in 1984. Another Iranian-supported bombing killed 241 Americans, service members they were, in their barracks in Beirut in 1983. In 1996, the regime directed another bombing of American military housing in Saudi Arabia, murdering 19 Americans in cold blood. Iranian proxies provided training to operatives who were later involved in al-Qaeda's bombing of the American embassies in Kenya, Tanzania, and 2 years later killing 224 people and wounding more than 4,000 others.
Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. Double honor to the apostles of GMS. Salutations to all you brothers and your sisters out there. All right, and as you can see from last Friday, this thing took place where Donald Trump pretty much destroyed the agreement that America had. All right, which was at the time Obama's reign, that agreement with Iran to not get any nuclear arms, and it was working out a deal. Well, Trump just completely shattered it, and Trump, well, everybody's focusing on the anthem or the shooting or the potential war with North Korea. The main war that we all been waiting for is about to take place. All right. Because him, by cutting this deal with Iran, they telling the Congress, like, look, we have to find new sanctions against Iran. And calling Iran's personal guards as terrorists, pretty much calling Iran terrorists, period, is a sure sign of a war with Iran, which is the war to end all wars. Okay? You people is out there that's a Trump supporter, okay, that you know, the naive people I'm talking about, the people that put this man in office and like everything America's gonna be great again. He just signed your fucking death warrant. Okay? Now, once America go to Iran, it's over. Okay? This is over. And we men at GMS, we love Trump because everything he's doing for in our favor because he's helping this thing go quicker, man. World War III is about to start. The whole war that between North Korea and America, that's just for tick for tack. That's just a rumor of war. That's not gonna war that's gonna end everything. But as soon as they go to war with Iran, then definitely Russia's gonna be involved. All hell is about to break loose. Okay? First scripture I got is Joel 3:9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Alright? The vibration right now that's on this planet Earth is war. Alright? War. Not rumors of war. It's war. Ecclesiastes 3:8. Yeah. No, my fault. Ecclesiastes 3. I'm sorry, that one. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. Okay? A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to pluck up that which is planted. A time to kill, a time to heal. Right now, we live in a time of killing. We're not living in a time of the baby boom era. We're not living in a time where it's time for you to buy a house, to settle for your children, to leave something for your children. Okay? We're not living in a time where you have to work extra hard to make money so you can go on vacation. We're living in a time of war. We're living in a time of a potential world war. We're living in a time where the RFID microchip is about to take place. We're living in a time of martial law. We're living in a time of all hell's about to break loose. That's why there's so much tension in the earth. There's so much tension even here in America. It finally touched base. Okay? That the so-called white people, alright, you Edomites, your hatred that you have for Jake, which are you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, it can no longer be hid no more. It's seeping through. Okay? That's why a lot of times we're hearing a lot of Edomites coming out their ass, saying whatever they have to say against Jake. So Trump is spearheading all of this. And his little speech that he said against Iran, that speech was a clear-cut sign that he wants to go to war with Iran. Now, if those of you that don't know geopolitics, that America is trying to make a monopoly from the international bankers, is trying to make a monopoly of all the oil on the earth. All right, the petroleum dollar is falling. Venezuela dropped the American dollar. China's about to drop it, which holds all of America's debt. Okay. Russia don't want to deal. Russia only want to deal with Asia and all certain types of countries. They don't want to deal with anything with their dollar bill. But the dollar bill was established after World War II to be the world's currency, the trading currency. Well, it's losing its power. America's at over 20 trillion in debt. About to be 21. All these natural disasters take place, which adds more to the debt. So we're looking at potential disastrous coming. Alright? And all you people that's out there that truly believe that this guy was gonna actually change things, he just making things worse. Now, you got clowns like Alex Jones and his cohort, the whole InfoWar, that bullshit. They supporting everything this man says, even though it's wrong. Okay? If you love this country so much, you would not want them to go to war with Iran. Matter of fact, you wouldn't want this place to go in any war no longer. But that shows you that they all juiced in. Okay? So the time we're living in some harsh times, man. And it says, verse 8, a time to love and a time to hate. And right now we're not living in a time of love. That's why a lot of people is getting killed. Alright? We live in a time of pure hate. You have Edomites, all right, who claims this is their land, who's pissed off that immigrants is taking over all the works. Okay, they showing pure hatred, man. And you got Jake, on the other hand, that's completely docile and asleep, but they spirits are starting to get sparked up a little bit. So we're not living in a time of kumbaya, everybody hold hands. We live in a time where division is going to take place. And it says a time of war and a time of peace, and we're not living in no peace right now. This is not a peaceful speech. This was not a peaceful atmosphere. All right, he's basically calling Iran a terrorist group, and every time America calls another nation some terrorists, usually they go into that land and destroy that place. But what they fail to understand, once you go into Iran, that's it for your ass. So right now the Lord is stirring up the mighty men among all nations, from Moab to Ammon, all right, to Ishmael, all right, to Elam, to Esau themselves, okay, even Jake. The Lord is stirring up a beautiful blend of disaster that's about to take place. Ezekiel 38, I'm starting 1. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog and Magog, and the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesied against it. And Gog and Magog, that land is in Russia, all right, modern day Russia today. So the Lord said, speak against Gog and Magog, but this speaking is going to show favor unto them. That's why Putin said what he said many years ago. He said he knew he's going to destroy America because basically God is by his side. He read from the scriptures. And it says, and say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, behold, I'm against thee, O Gog and Magog, Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. I will turn thee back and put hooks on thy jaws. So now, the bear, which the symbol of America, Russia, is the bear, was being dormant. It was in hibernation. But many years ago, the whole thing that took place around his border, all right, it brought back that hook. The Lord brought back that hook. And now they want their old Soviet Union territories back again. All right? So Russia is primed and is ready. That's why they're in Syria and aiding the Syrian government. Because before they go to any nation goes to war, they have to bleed out or feed the soldiers' blood. In terms, they have to have a semi-war so the soldiers get used to killing. Okay? So the Lord is bringing back that old Soviet Union mind state when it was a superpower once before that the world feared. The whole war that took place in World War II between Japan and America, come to realization, it was a documentary, Oliver Stone, which is a so-called Jew, but at the same time, he's juiced in there, has stated in that documentary that the real reason why Japan waved the white flag wasn't the fact that America dropped a bomb on them, it was because Russia was coming. Okay? Russia was coming from the north. And they heard what Russia did onto Germany. Because Germany, the whole history is bad, but basically Russia was an unstoppable force. They knew that they was going to rape their women, they was going to kill everybody. So they had to surrender. Okay? So the world feared the Soviet Union, and they're going to fear it again. And it says, and I will bring thee forth, and all thy army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with a sort of armory, even a great company with buckles and shields, all of them handling swords. Persia, which is the original name for Iran, which they changed their name in, I believe, in 1972, from Persia to Iran. All right, So Persia, which is Iran, is the first one on the list. Ethiopia, okay. So those African nations, they're also part of Russia's protection, okay. Libya, which we see what happened with Gaddafi, okay. This is prophecy that's going to take place. It says, with them, all of them with shield and helmet. So Russia's allies, Russia's protection, the protection of these nations, mainly Persia, Iran, is Russia. Okay? And they're about to do something that has never been happened in the world. Now, Trump wants to stop them from having nuclear arms and preventing them from getting nuclear arms. But look what's going on in North Korea. He can't stop that. Okay? You know secrets is being sold between Iran and Russia. You can't stop that. So they're gonna have those equipments. And then America's gonna find its way in there, and all World War III is about to start. Okay? And it says Gomer and all his bands in the house of Togon and the north quarters and all his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared and prepared for thyself, thou, all the company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. So when we say, as soon as America gets to Iran, Russia's going to get involved, that proves right there, because Russia is a guard unto Iran. Now, Saudi Arabia, which has been America's allies, seem to be jumping ship, okay, which holds the majority of American dollars. That's how the whole petroleum dollar came about, because they made a deal with Saudi Arabia, which had one of the largest oil fields in the world. Well, guess what? They starting to jump ship too. So the main course, the main focal point is Iran. Now Trump just basically signed a deal unto death to start this war with Iran. Okay? Obadiah, Salakia. Obadiah 7. All of the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. Now, who's considered to be America's confederates or allies? The main ally, or not really an ally, welfare state, is called Israel. Now, this state, welfare state, that's Israel, is behind the many wars in the planet Earth. The true terrorists of the planet Earth. Alright? They the ones that's starting all these wars in the Middle East, getting America involved. Well, guess what? This is it. Okay? And it's gonna explain. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. And Israel is a welfare state. The majority of Americans' money is for that state itself. I'm not mistaken, I believe it's a couple $1 billion just by itself that America take care of that. Okay? That's why Israel has, quote unquote, these fake terrorist group, Hezbollah and all that shit, to show that they're in dire straits. That's why Trump made that statement. He gave a brief history of Iran, which is Persia, and how they terrorize the world. Where did he get the idea from? He got it from the Israelis. Okay? For them to get into that war. But all this, America's allies with NATO is going to destroy America. And it says, they that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. So there's no understanding in Esau. Esau believe that they're going to win this war. This is the war to end all wars. Okay? Back in Ezekiel 38 and 8. After many days thou shalt be visited. In the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword and is gathered out of many people against the mountains of Israel, which have been always waste, but it is brought forth out of the nations, and it shall dwell safely of all of them. Now, those people that's in Israel, they believe they won't get touched. But according to the scriptures, the Lord's going to destroy that land. Alright? I'm going to jump down verse 11. And it says, thou shalt say, verse 10. Let me read 9. Thou shalt ascend and come like a storm, and thou shalt be like a cloud over the land. Thou and all thy bands and many people with thee. Thus saith Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. It shall also come to pass that at the same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought, and thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of the unwalled villages. All right, and that's talking about America, because in the ancient world, a city was covered by walls for protection. Well, America's defense system is weak. Their focal point was offense, not defense. All right, that's why they have anti-missile systems in Poland and the surrounding areas of Russia, but they're about to lose that. These missiles, once they get launched, it won't be able to. Nobody's going to be able to stop them. Period. Because the spirit of the Lord is going to be in them. Well, America itself has no defense system. Okay, and it says on verse 11 again, thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of the unwalled villages. I will go to the land. I will go to them that are at rest. Now, out of all the nations on the planet Earth, what nation has no wars that's taking place, that's dealing nicely? You have chaos throughout the whole four corners of the earth. Venezuela, the people are going crazy. Brazil, the people went crazy. All right, Cuba, Puerto Rico, all the Caribbean islands, people live in poverty. Africa, people live in poverty. In Greece, people, they going crazy. You have all these upheaval going on, but this is the land of the safe. Everybody's doing safe. The people worrying about what they're gonna wear, what club they're gonna go out to. They're not concerned of when the next meal's coming. All right, this is the place where people dwell safely, and it says that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls and without neither bars nor gates. And that's talking about America right there. To take a spoil, to take a prey, to turn thy hand upon the desolate places that are now inhabited, and upon the people that are gathered out of the nations, which have gotten cattle and goods and dwell in the midst of the land. So the Lord is going to destroy this place, man. And it says, verse 14, therefore, son of man, prophesy and say unto God, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, in that day, when my people of Israel dwell safely, shalt thou know it not, and thou shalt come from thy place out of the north parts, thou and many people with thee, all of them riding upon horses in great company and a mighty army, and thou shalt come upon against my people of Israel as a cloud to cover the land, and it shall be in the latter days, and I will bring thee again against my land, that the heathen may know me, when I have sanctified in thee, O God, before thine eyes. So that's what Putin made that statement. Because Putin knows he's going to have to go into that land, Israel. He's going to have to destroy that land. And he also may have to destroy America. And it says, verse 17, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, art thou he of whom I have spoken in old time, by my servants the prophets of Israel, which prophesied in those days many years that I would bring thee against them? And it shall come to pass at that same time, when God shall come against the land of Israel, saith the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, that my fury shall come up in my face. And how is the fury of the Lord going to come up in his face? Because the Lord's going to have to nuke this goddamn place, man. And he's going to nuke the land of Israel. And it says, if I'm mistaken, there, next verse too. For in my jealousy and in my fire of my wrath have I spoken. Surely in that day there shall be a great shaking in the land of Israel, so that the fish of the sea and the fowls of the heaven and the beasts of the field and all the creeping things that creeping things that creep upon the earth, and all the men that are upon the face of the earth shall shake at my presence, and the mountains shall be thrown down, and the steep places shall fall, and every wall shall fall to the ground. And I will call for a sword against him throughout all my mountains, saith Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Every man's sword shall be against his brother, and I will plead against him with pestilence and with blood, and will rain upon him and the band, and upon his band, upon the many people that are with him, an overflowing rain, great hail, storms, fire, and brimstone. So the Lord's talking about nuclear destruction on this land, man. Alright? And he's going to use Russia, okay, Gog and Magog, the king of the Medes, to do it, to initiate destruction of America. Alright? Thus will I magnify myself and sanctify myself, and I will be known in the eyes of many nations, and they shall know that I am Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. So the Lord is going to nuke America, alright? And all America's allies is going to nuke America. And the land that you call Israel is going to get nuked. So Trump just signed your death deal, alright? Last scripture, Revelation 17 and 16. Well, 15. And he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. And that is talking about this mixed pot that's called America. We'll have all types of nations, man. Alright? Every nation under the heavens is here in America. And it says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. Now it's talking about NATO and the EU. Alright? They shall hate the whore. One, America's allies, America spying on its own allies, giving the short end of the deal with every situation. That's why people are upset about this Iran nuclear deal, because they know that things is not going to get better, and Trump is a leading candidate to do these things. And it says, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. So the Lord is going to use America's own allies to destroy America, and they have the right candidate, the right men in office to initiate this hatred. And it says, for the Most High have put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. So the whole the treaty that America had with the EU and the NATO, that was the fulfillment of the Lord's heart. But at the end, the Lord is going to make America desolate. Alright? So with that being said, I hope you brothers are edified. We almost out of here. The real war is about to take place on the planet Earth. That war is going to be the war to end all wars. World War III. Alright? This is what we've been waiting for a long time. That what's going on with North Korea, which is like a side meal. It's like the side dish. Like you eat your macaroni, you got your meat, you got your veggies. You got that little potato salad or macaroni, whatever. Well, that's that war. But the main meat, the main course meal overall is the war in Iran. Alright, so with that being said, shalom.